Times have changed and much is true. The world can feel upside down. Camp will always be there for you. We will always be around. We've got weather, sports, trivia, and shorts. And there's so much more that we've got in store. On Boogie Boogie Tove, Sugar Grove. Boogie Boogie Tove, Sugar Grove. Boogie Boogie Tove, Sugar Grove. Boogie Boogie Tove, Sugar Grove.
Hello, my name is Aliza Makovsky,
And I'm Josh Polster.
and this is
Boker Tove, Sugar Grove.
Today is Friday, July 10th, the 18th of Tammuz. Just making sure I wrote that down correctly. And today on the show, we'll be giving you all of the indoor world updates, the schedule for today. We'll talk about the Chugim. We'll get some news. We're going to talk, we're going to dive in a little bit into really the concept of indoor world from its origin story, which will be really exciting. We'll listen to another Dr. Seuss dramatic reading. We have a fantastic episode of Between Two Bunk Beds. We have a special Campstone produced song for you, which I'm really excited about. Overall, this is just a jam-packed episode. We're so excited to have you here today. Boker Tov.
Yeah.
7 a.m. waking up in the morning, gotta be fresh, gotta go downstairs, gotta have my bowl, gotta have cereal, seeing everything, the time is going, ticking on and on, everybody's rushing, gotta get down to the bus stop, gotta catch my bus, I see my friends, kicking in the front seat, sitting in the back seat, gotta make my mind up, which seat can I take? It's Friday, Friday, gotta get down on Friday, everybody's looking forward to the weekend, Friday, Friday, getting down on Friday, everybody's looking forward to the weekend, partying, 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 fun, 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 looking forward to the weekend. 7:45, we're driving on the highway, cruising so fast, I want time to fly, fun, fun, think about fun, you know what it is, I got this, you got this, my friend is by my right, hey, I got this, you got this, now you know it, kicking in the front seat, sitting in the back seat, gotta make my mind up, which seat can I take? It's Friday, Friday, gotta get down on Friday, everybody's looking forward to the weekend, Friday, Friday, getting down on Friday, everybody's looking forward to the weekend, partying, 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 fun, 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 looking forward to the weekend. Yesterday was Thursday, today, yeah, it's Friday, Friday, we so excited, we gonna have a ball today, tomorrow is Saturday, and Sunday comes afterwards, I don't want this weekend to end.
R&B, Rebecca Black. So chillin' in the front side, in the backseat. I'm driving, cruising, fast lane, switching lanes with a car by my side. Come on, passing by, it's a school bus in front of me. Makes tick-tock, wanna scream. Check my time, it's Friday, it's a weekend. We gonna have fun, come on, y'all.
Friday, Friday, gotta get down on Friday, everybody's looking forward to the weekend, we gotta get down Friday, Friday, getting down on Friday, everybody's looking forward to the weekend, partying, 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 fun, 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 looking forward to the weekend, Friday, Friday, gotta get down on Friday,
All right, everybody, we are back with another full day of Indoor World excitement and updates and good things. Today, we're actually announcing the 301 raffle winners from several previous days. Micah Frankel won Tuesday's raffle, and Dvora Ben-Tor won yesterday's raffle. Or 2 days ago's raffle?
I honestly
A day
lost
this week.
track of
raffle.
time.
Today in Tochnit, we have moved on to our third and final unit of the summer, which is Churban, and response in Judaism to the destruction of the Batei Mikdash. We had started the summer talking about Shemitah and Yovel as opportunities for a reset. Then we moved on to the Age of Enlightenment and the reaction of Jewish thinkers and tradition to the new movement of logic. Now we are moving on to Churban and the Galut of the Jewish people and our responses to that. In other news, it's time for another package opening!
Yeah, let's go!
Everybody go look in your Indoor World Care package boxes and find the silver metallic bag. It is big, it is puffy, it is full of goodies. You will find some helpful items for making your sandwiches in there and going on hikes today because as a Friday, it is of course hike day. You may also find something else that might be important.
Wonder what that could be.
Enjoy that. Stay tuned on Sunday for more final box information. There's going to be some big updates put out on Sunday. Get ready for that.
All right, don't forget to check the Indoor World website for your daily challenges, which should be posted there. Make sure to keep up with the challenges. It's almost the end, so you got to make sure to get in those final points while you can. Today is today's not a regular day of Chugim. It's Friday.
It's Friday. There are no Chugim today.
That's silly. Sorry. Don't know why I said that. Ignore that part. Instead, we have a different schedule for today. Josh, what's happening today?
What is happening today? There's a lot happening today. PB&J, peanut butter jelly, time, and associated songs. It's actually grown a lot further.
It has grown a lot beyond the peanut butter and jelly
just
situation.
the peanut butter and jelly song. Which will be at 10:15, immediately after we close the morning show. And then you should all be going on hikes as long as you possibly can. And then Bidika, Zoom Bidika, once again, for Nikayon, 4 points. We'll begin with Aleph, Vav, and Bet at 5:30, and Gimel and Dalet at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. So take that into account wherever you are. Mifkad will be at 6:30, live streamed here from Indoor World, or actually from the main Migrash, but same difference. And Kabbalat Shabbat will once again be live streamed. I know that we had a lot of people listening last week, so we're doing it again. That's at 6:50, and then Havdalah will be immediately Motzei Shabbat when Shabbat is over here in the Eastern Time Zone in Pennsylvania, and then you can obviously listen to that as Shabbat continues to go out across the United States and the rest of the world. Check the schedule on the Indoor World website, and it's also been posted in all of your group chats, your Indoor World ADA group chat. So get ready for an amazing day of pre-Shabbos excitement from Indoor World.
All right, so we've taken for granted, I think, this entire experience.
Definitely.
The concept of Indoor World existing in camp and the fact that it is called Indoor World. That's
Because it is.
It is, right. It has been for all of us, but many years ago, a time before Josh or I can remember at least, Indoor World didn't exist yet. And so we reached out to a very special individual who probably none of you know because he is from a different Campstone era than many of us. As in, 10 years ago. What was this now? 15 years ago?
15, I think.
15 years ago. And he's going to tell us a little bit about the origin story of Indoor World, how Indoor World came to be, how the name Indoor World came to be, and what his place was in that. So he recorded this very special segment for us. Please enjoy. This is Ami Zukowski with Indoor World.
What a lovely piece by French composer Camille Saint-Saëns. And welcome to Sugar Grove Public Radio. The time is, the sun is up, so you should be up, and the weather is hotter than an Amish barn. Later this hour, we will have the Yoda Polka Hour, hosted by Bruce Ripine, followed by a live feed from the Warren County Livestock Auction. But now we have a special segment from our special series, Indoor World at 15. And now, here with today's segment is Jamie Town.
In celebration of the structure known as Indoor World's 15th anniversary, Sugar Grove Public Radio has been exploring the people, personalities, and programs that have shaped and molded this landmark, and via the transitive property, all those who it, in turn, has molded and shaped. Last week we sat down with Jethro Welding, the contractor who smoothed out the original asphalt flooring of Indoor World, for his riveting account of leveling and then smoothing the now famously smooth and level base of Indoor World. Next week we have a very special piece on Birdie the northern long-eared Myotis bat, who caught and ate the first Luna moth under the glow of Indoor World's large metal halide bulbs. But now we have a special sit-down with none other than Ami Zukowski, the person responsible for naming, and some might say misnaming, the indelible edifice known as Indoor World. Welcome, Mr. Zukowski.
Jamie, thanks for having me.
To start, can you give us a little background on your connection with Camp Stone?
Sure. Well, my connection with Camp Stone, or as those in the know call it, Machaneh, goes back to 1997. I was in Ada Bet that year, and remember, back in 97, and for my whole time as a Chanich, there were only 3 Adot, Aleph, Bet, and Gimel. So I was Chanich in 97, 98, and 99, and then I came back to be on Sevet in 2003, and worked both sessions every summer from 2003 to 2007.
Wow, so you have a long history at camp. And in that time, what positions did you hold?
Oh, so many. 03, I was drama and then kitchen for the last 2 weeks of the summer. 04, I was hadracha both months. 05, I was hadracha and then mitbach. And then 06, 07, I was rosh mitbach.
So in 05, when you named Indoor World, you were on hadracha?
Yes, it was a weird time. Bush was president. There weren't iPhones. I mean, Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince came out that summer. It was a different time, so it was pre-camp, and everyone showed up, and there's this huge new building, and no one knew how to react. Should we go in? Should we leave it alone? If we go in, are we cheating on the Butler building? People were pretty lost.
And what was your reaction?
I thought it was great. Huge covered space, fairly central as the grounds go, but I understood people's fears.
How did those fears manifest themselves?
Well, there was a shot shoot before Shabbat, and while the underlying halacha is lost in history, the hook of the shot shoot was we were tearing down the structure, and it was during this shot shoot that I referred to it as Indoor World, and the name just clicked. I mean, you can't look at the thing without wanting to call it Indoor World. It's so natural.
Are you aware that to some people, the name isn't as natural as you're making it out to be?
Listen, I get it. It's not the whole world, and according to the letter of the law, it's not indoors. I get it. I'm a lawyer. I parse words all the time.
So how do you defend those criticisms?
Well, first I take umbrage with characterizing them as criticisms. This is just a back and forth, a dialogue, a Talmudic debate. But to get to your point, you have to realize that the name Indoor World embodies a very machaneh way of thinking. First, let's look at the word indoor. Does that place have doors? No, but we call the puddle at the bottom of the hill a lake. We are always thinking bigger, wanting more, pushing boundaries, striving to be better and to create the utopia in our collective mind. And then world. Is it the whole world? Obviously not. But in 2 respects, I would say it is. First, before this, the largest indoor space was the Chadar Ochel, where if you skip with a little too much zest, you bump your head. Comparatively, Indoor World is the whole world. Second, and you can only fully understand this if you've experienced it, but when all of Machaneh is under that roof, it feels like the whole world, as if everything else doesn't exist, and you're just there with all of creation. So from that perspective, Indoor World is the perfect and only possible name.
Wow, that's beautiful. Your wife is a lucky woman.
Oh, thank you. She is. A lovely piece For the full interview with Ami Zukowski, where you can hear him speak to his 2003 camp production of Baruch Morrison based on Adam Sandler's Billy Madison, or for the hidden meaning of the word Shechem, download our podcast Indoor World at 15, available on iTunes, Spotify, and wherever podcasts are available. And now, here is the Yoda Polka Hour with Bruce Ripard.
Wow, what an informative piece.
Informative, informational, exciting. It really brings back a lot of history that I feel like most people listening, or even here at Camp Now, don't really know. And it's our privilege to bring that to you and to elucidate the history of Indoor World, the magnificent structure that we've kind of just assumed has always been there.
Yes, thank you, Ami, for bringing that to us. We really, really appreciate it. It's good to learn more about our history. All right, let's talk about the weather. The weather in Sugar Grove today is predicted to be a high of 89, a low of 67, with a thunderstorm in the afternoon. Technically, this is incorrect because there are no storms here. I'm also really hoping there is a thunderstorm this afternoon because it is suffocatingly hot right now, and I can't breathe. So I hope that something just kind of goes wrong a little bit and we get a little bit of rain.
Yeah, the weather in Sugar Grove this week has been nothing short of brutal. So hopefully that will change in the near future. The news from Sugar Grove. We previously reported on the roundabout at the corner of Market Street and Pennsylvania Avenue in Warren City that was predicted to be completed in 2022. That roundabout construction has now been delayed again another 2 years due to inter-council debate on the height and shape of the shrubbery that was intended to be planted at the roundabout. There's a fierce debate between several council members about whether the shrubbery should be 3.7 inches high or 4.2 inches high. We'll have to see where that goes. But for now, just drive slowly at the intersection of Pennsylvania Avenue and Market Street in Warren because there's no greenery in your traffic circle.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Really important news, something that I think is relevant to all of us.
It's very crucial, I know.
Important that we know. All right, let's move on to the mailbox where we talk about things we want to talk about and opinions from you, opinions from us, opinions from, the shrubbery in general. Just anyone can offer opinions.
The shrubbery?
Yeah, sometimes does anyone ask the shrubbery how tall it wants to be?
I have no words.
Well,
You've left out the shrubbery. This must be rectified immediately. I will contact the council and we will bring about change for the shrubbery.
Amazing. We asked dining deck or chadar ochel, and the results were an overwhelming majority for the dining deck, 80% to 20%. Chadar ochel people love for dancing. The dining deck people love for cooler temperatures. I think especially right now, the people who are at camp are not spending any time in the chadar ochel, so that might be some of the reason why there's a little bit of skewed data on that. I also have to say that the bug situation on the dining deck is unbelievably difficult to deal with. I cannot explain how hard it is to try and eat when bugs are trying to zoom up your nose. It's a lot. So I think that could be a piece of it that maybe, you would argue against. But in general, the dining deck is just an amazing addition to camp. I think it's terrifying when new things happen, especially in this place. None of us are ever comfortable with that. I shouldn't speak for the entire camp community, but I was pretty uncomfortable. Like, construction here is sometimes nerve-wracking, and I love the dining deck. I'm so excited about it. I think it's a wonderful place. So
absolutely. For tomorrow's poll, and by tomorrow we mean today through Sunday, and we'll read the results on Sunday morning. So it's an extended poll. It's the rest of today and also Motzei Shabbat. Is your favorite part of Indoor World? This has been an incredible, involved 2-week extravaganza, I would say. And there have been so many different pieces to it for the Chanichim, for Tzevet, for people listening out there. So tell us what your favorite part of Indoor World was, or is. It should be the morning radio show, but if you have wrong opinions, we'll also read those out on the air, too.
You can also tell us your second favorite thing.
Exactly. Tell us your second favorite thing after the morning show, and we will take up that discussion on the air on Sunday, and hopefully read some interesting information about what people liked about Indoor World, some good feedback, and we'll go from there.
All right. Next up, we've got our celebrity guest segment between two bunk beds, and today we are finishing up with our third Rosh Moshava. We are so excited that we got to have her on the show. She was definitely the most difficult to track down. Is she more busy than the other two? I don't know. I didn't say that. I just said she was hard to track down. But she has been doing unbelievably incredible work here in Indoor World. She is definitely someone I look up to in my life in Campstone, but also just in general. It's just such an honor to be able to work with her and to be able to hear her thoughts and opinions on everything that's going on here. So without further ado, here is Shall Have It Shorts.
Welcome back to another wonderful segment of Between Two Bunk Beds, your favorite segment where we interview all the best personalities here in Indoor World. And we are here today with the final part of a 3-part set of your Rocher Moshava. We are here with Shalhevet Schwartz. Shalhevet, thank you for joining us between these bunk beds right behind us.
Thank you so much. It's so good to be here. I really am sitting right now in between 2 bunk beds, which is very exciting stuff. So,
I believe one of these bunk beds may have been the location of a situation of the last couple days.
We'll get there when we talk about some of the dollar stuff.
Just thinking about that. So you are one of the 3 Rocher Moshavas, as Josh mentioned, and is this your first time being a Rosh Mosh?
It is, actually. I thought you were going to ask whether it was my first time in camp, and the answer to that is no. But it is my first time being Rosh Mosh. And yeah, it's been good so far.
How did you get to this position? For our listeners who their dream is to be you when they grow up, what's the path? What do they need to do next?
What's the path? Well, my path in Campstone started a long time ago. It started in 2008, second session. I was one of the first session that Ada Vav ever existed, actually. I was part of that Ada Vav. I got to Campstone. I'm a New Yorker, and a lot of New York kids go to a lot of New York camps that are not Stone, and I'd gone to one, but I didn't like it very much. The people there weren't particularly friendly, so I decided to come to Stone, and I fell in love, and I've been here ever since, and I guess if you stick around long enough, then eventually this is what happens.
There you go. So promotion through perseverance.
Something like that.
That sounds like a good plan for all prospective Rocher Moshava out there.
Just stick it out.
There you go. Last man standing. Last person standing.
There we go.
Indeed.
So as you look back, I think we're now at Friday, so we're getting close to the 2-week mark here on Indoor World, unfortunately. What have been some of the highlights?
What have been some of the highlights? That's an awesome question. Since we were talking about this location of between 2 bunk beds where we're currently sitting, I will say that one of my highlights was a couple nights ago, Tuesday night, actually. In addition to being Rosh Moshava, I have another job here, which is I'm one of the Roshei Ada Daled with Aryeh, which it's a little bit strange to have both of those jobs at the same time, but we had a night Tuchnit for Ada Daled at 3 a.m. on Tuesday night. Typically in camp, Ada Daled goes on a 3 a.m. hike, which is a lot of fun. I've been on it many times, but what we decided to do at 3 a.m., because everyone was obviously in a different location, was that we decided to shave Alicia's beard. You may have heard tale or seen on video kind of what that mane was, but we decided that it had to go, so we brought Ada Daled along for the ride, and just on one of these bunk beds right here, actually, in his sleep, just went at him with an electric shaver. Aryeh did the honor, so...
Must have been quite the adventure.
And
your Ada Daled campers actually woke up for this?
A lot of them, well, some of them woke up, some of them hadn't gone to sleep yet. It was after Color War, so they were reeling. But we had a couple of, we even had a camper, shout out to Tema Kirschbaum, who, she was on from LA, so for her it was only midnight, and we decided that wasn't really being up at 3 a.m., so we told her to send us a selfie at 3 a.m., and she, in fact, did.
Wow.
So, that's commitment.
That is amazing. True Ada Daled camper right there. You mentioned Color War. This year, Color War was very unique, but very successful. Did you enjoy being a part of that from both the Ada Daled side and the Rosh Mosh side? What was that like for you?
It was crazy. We all kind of were wondering, like, is this going to happen? Is it going to be possible? Are people going to be able to pull this off? And, you guys really, really did. Camp, the kids came up with so many cool, creative ideas. Ada Daled led the charge, organized all the different projects, organized the Apache race. We were really skeptical that we would manage to stream that properly and all of that.
It was a close call. It was a close call.
There were definitely some issues with the audio at the beginning. I remember stalling through that little section with Team Yoshvei Tevel. Shout out to the losing Color War team, but the better one, of course.
Ooh. You heard it here, folks.
Controversy on the air.
But The fact that it really happened was a testament to the effort and energy put in by all of the campers, and especially Ada Dalid, who really organized the entire thing. So.
Wow, that's so awesome. It was so fun to be a part of and to watch and to see everything that everyone was putting towards it. It was really fantastic.
Yeah, I love watching the Apache race always, and I think, like, you really get to, in real camp, like, okay, you're standing far away, you don't really get a good view of what's going on, but, like, this time, like, Molly Goldberg-Kelman pulling a penny out of a giant bowl of honey,
so
like,
good.
You just saw it close up because she was spotlit, and that's just what happened, and it was great. So,
yeah, that was
kudos to you, Molly. If
pretty
you do this.
fantastic.
There you go. It's the new market. Now it's in sports. Televised sports. We now have televised Apache races. You can have spotlights on every Apache race in years to come. But either way, regardless, it was an incredible color war to remember. Thank you so much for joining us, Shalhevet, in all your roles as Rosh Moshe, Ada Dalid, and beyond.
Oh, I have another job that I'm not sure if I told you about, but I'm Rosh Coffee at Camp Stone.
Oh, this is very true. The reason that wasn't even mentioned is that Josh and I don't drink coffee.
They have all the energy just naturally. It's pretty impressive.
Right, that's exactly.
Or something.
Something like that. But we don't, there's no caffeine in the village unless you go down to blacksmithing where Justin has his own coffee set up.
Right. There's a underground Turkish coffee production in the village every year, but not this year.
We have nothing to do with it. So.
But I guess my unofficial job is to make the pot of coffee every morning for those who want. So.
Oh, that's nice.
When you come back next summer, just let me know. Coffee.
Wow. Thank you for that offer. That was really
many different layers. All right, thank you so much, Shalhevet, for joining us. It's really been a pleasure to have you on another episode of Between Two Bunk Beds. All right, thank you so much to Shalhevet for joining us. It really was a pleasure to have her here with us. Now we are going to move forward into our guest segment of the day. One of our favorite guest hosts. We have once again Zahara Aziz, a former Tevet member of ours from the Village, Go Village, who is going to read another Dr. Seuss story, dramatically, I might add, called The Zacks. Zahara?
One day, making tracks in the prairie of Prax, came a north-going Zacks and a south-going Zacks. And it happened that both of them came to a place where they bumped. There they stood, foot to foot, face to face. "Look here now," the north-going Zacks said. "I say, you are blocking my path. You are right in my way. I'm a north-going Zacks, and I always go north. Get out of my way, now, and let me go forth." "Who's in whose way?" snapped the south-going Zacks. "I always go south, making south-going tracks. So you're in my way, and I ask you to move, and let me go south in my south-going groove." Then the north-going Zacks puffed his chest up with pride. "I never," he said, "take a step to one side, and I'll prove to you that I won't change my ways if I have to keep standing here 59 days. "And I'll prove to you," yelled the south-going Zacks, "that I can stand here in the prairie of Prax for 59 years, for I live by a rule that I learned as a boy back in south-going school. Never budge, that's my rule, never budge in the least, not an inch to the west, not an inch to the east. I'll stay here, not budging, I can and I will, if it makes you and me and the whole world stand still." Well, of course the world didn't stand still. The world grew. In a couple of years, the new highway came through, and they built it right over those two stubborn Zacks, and left them there, standing unbudged in their tracks. Hope you guys all enjoyed. That's the Zacks for today.
Thank you, Zahara. Always a pleasure to hear from you. Your dramatic readings are second to none. Always a Kima favorite, both in and out of camp. It's now moving on to leaderboard updates.
Let's go!
This is very important. We are reaching the final stretch.
These prizes are not to be laughed at.
They are not. They are pretty fantastic prizes. If you haven't checked them out, you should definitely go check the individual league prizes, the bunk prizes, the family prizes. They're all pretty incredible. And some of the most amazing ones, I think, are actually further down the list, in my opinion.
Interesting.
So don't worry if you're not in first place. There are still excellent options later down on the rankings list.
Definitely very.
So that's definitely something to look forward to.
Yeah, it looks like it goes down all the way to 12th place. Is that true for
in
all
the
of them?
in the Tevet and individual leagues, I believe.
Wow, that is awesome.
I think it's less in the others, but I heard they were extending them potentially. Don't hold me to that, but. Let's see. But with the leaderboards in the individual league, Betzalel Broth is just barely in the lead from $8 with 1,434.5 points.
Interesting. I would love to know how that happened.
I am very curious. Tess Piper and Molly Piper from Bet and Aleph are hot on his heels, followed by the Mayer and Micah Frankel duo in 4th and 5th place, with Dvorah Bentar close behind in 6th. In the Bunk League, these have not yet been updated over the course of this week. Bunk Purple Bunkhouse is in 1st, followed by Burrito Blobfish, Perry the Peacow, GGGG, and everybody's favorite, Short Pigeon.
Yeah, honestly, so good.
So there's that. Today is a huge opportunity for bunk points with Nikayon and Bidika later this afternoon. So get on that, get your bunk points, hop into that leaderboard. Let's see what happens. In the Family League, the Smolensky family has ever so slowly been building their lead on the Kelman family, who is still in 2nd place, followed by the Warsawski family. Shout out to Aviva and Co., followed by the Piper and Frankel families. No surprises there, given the positions on the individual leaderboard. And the Tsevet League, nothing seems to have moved. I don't know whether that's because nobody's been sending in challenges or because nobody's been grading them. But David Bentor is still in 1st, followed by Elisheva Green and Shira Kornblau.
All right. The next thing that we're going to talk about, this I'm very excited about. I think one piece of camp that we've all really been missing are the meal times, which are always ridiculously crazy and surprisingly short. If you actually time them, feels like you're in the Chadar forever, but they're actually quite brief. Anyway, my favorite part of breakfast is Moses singing the morning med song. I think that's many people's favorite part. And when we spoke with him on the show last week, I believe it was, we mentioned how there is a camper, Gideon, who sings the song perhaps better than Moses does. And Moses ended up getting in touch with Gideon, and along with Noah Barshane, the 3 of them produced the morning med song for you all to listen to here today. I'm so excited about this.
This is a premiere. This is a world premiere of the updated morning med song.
All right, enjoy.
Morning meds. 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 Morning meds.
Unbelievable.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
Wow. Absolutely incredible. Thank you to Moses, Gideon, and Noah for sharing their beautiful music with us.
That's so amazing.
All right, that's it for today's episode of Boker Tov Sugar Grove. Thank you to Jackie Austin, Yal Engelhardt, and Moses Beebe for our fantastic intro song and outro song, as always. We will be here every morning for the rest of Indoor World, which is Sunday morning. Sunday morning is the last day. We're all sad to have made it there, but we will be back on Sunday morning at 9:45 Eastern Time, as always, streaming live on the Indoor World website. You can also catch up on all of our episodes. If you're feeling a lack in your mornings, you can binge watch or binge listen to all of our episodes again and again, as many times as you want, on the Indoor World website, on Spotify, and on Apple Podcasts, along with a bunch of other random platforms that we've never heard of, but we're published to anyways. Thank you for joining us this morning, this Friday morning, here on Boker Tov Sugar Grove. Now, Psurim to Indoor World and Shabbat Shalom.
Times have changed and much is true. The world can feel upside down. Camp will always be there for you. We will always be around. We've got weather, sports, trivia, and shorts. And there's so much more that we've got in store. On Boogie Boogie Time.